Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Sage Thyme. I want to tell you there are a lot of messages coming in, of course. It's been an intense, we're on an intense wave, and it doesn't feel like it's going to end anytime soon. And the intensity is good as long as we can stay at the top of the wave crest, as long as we are in healthy, loving, and intention of right reciprocity exchange. We don't get taken down by that wave in the undertow and, stumbled along the coral reef. And I want you to know that also you are doing amazing. Whatever that looks like for you right now in your life, you are showing up. You are showing up for yourself, for your sense of presence and awareness, your sense of purpose, with a clear intention, a very true intention of love in the highest. For the greatest good of all, I know, I can feel it's happening. You're doing this. It may not always look pretty. It may not always be symmetrical and in aesthetically smooth harmonics, but you're here. We're going to do a little bell clearing right now. For you, clear that space around you, all the muck and yuck of the people that are around you, including the ones that you love, that love you. They have things connected to them from other people's things. Let's do the dog because he's here helping us. And we take the time to notice all the beings, physical. Come on, little bell. There we go. Physical and non, that are supporting us. Even if we can't identify exactly who they are, taking the time to recognize that they're there and feeling that loving presence, feeling that true intention and care, and letting that care be for ourselves and overflowing from us, and from that overflow in return to those in that right reciprocity. I keep bringing up the right reciprocity. That is the key phrase for Lilith, whom is in Scorpio right now. Last I looked, she's about 3 or 4 degrees ahead of the sun. So in about 3 or 4 days, there's an exact conjunction. So we're building up to that illumination, bringing light into the dark crevices of our subconscious, Scorpio, and bringing that astute and acute vision. Scorpio in the higher octaves is the eagle, and even higher is the dragon, which of course then can flip and become paradoxically both the highest and the lowest degrees or octaves of consciousness and presence, right? Where the vast universe gets so expansive, it contracts into that finite singularity. It is, there's a mist and a constant deluge outside right now, and it's coming with a lot of different feelings. And maybe this is helpful for you. What's really interesting is the more in alignment I become in my own energies and my presence in self and presence within my true energies, the more that this weather sedates me. And I feel just this Ooh, and lots of rest and sleep needed. And inversely, when I get caught up in somebody else's energies or thoughts and they're kept the work that they need to do, when I get caught into that, that's when I feel the intensity of it get really sharp and painful and rigid, and or because I feel what's around people as well, not just what's their own things, and I feel the people that are around people. So it's a really great example of when you have a large torrent of energy, a immense like fire hose blast of water, and you're trying to blast it through a wall, or you're blasting it through, instead of another tube that's clean and clear, it's got all this muck and junk. And when it hits that muck and junk, you feel it, right? So what am I trying to say here, Spirit? You get the drift, I guess. Oh my goodness. Let's go to the cards, because I think I will be able to catch what's trying to be expressed more accurately through the card prompts. Oh, these are beautiful. Creativity, creative expression, trust your vision. Look at that beautiful card. And there she's got her internal awareness on high. Her third eye is open, and her crown envelops all the way around her, from around the sides, in this beautiful, both symmetrical and internally fractaling. And as it wraps around her like wings or an orb, it moves towards her center, her heart, which is also resonating in its own pattern, in its own geometry. And that's being displayed here in the reality around her, before her. And like a sandscape of cymatics, bringing sound to sand. She's creating these incredible patterns upon the reality around her. And it's from a creativity that is really occurring within her, honed in at the heart of her, right? Maybe it comes through her in her speech. Maybe she sings or writes or does pottery or whatever. But truly, it's coming through her at all times when the focus is present to being with it and opening to the release of it. Simply walking down the street, holding her presence, holding her vibration. And you guys, that's what you're working on. You're working on that. Focus, return to focus. Focus, return to focus. Awareness. What's off kilter? What is feeling, oh, I am being aware of what's feeling off. Okay, return to, into breath. Where is it? Give it the attention. Bring the focus there. Feel love and presence and listening and care for it. It's happening inside. Because when we get all of those harmonics and symmetry and cymatic symmetry in the most attunement with our own soul self, not what other people are telling you, not what other people are saying is the way to feel and be, but when we have that within us and it's rooted through and through to the core of the earth with love, with that maternal love, and it's opened and receiving from that paternal information with love, with integrity and honesty, with the intention of integrity and the awareness and intention of being alerted in a feedback mechanism when we're out of integrity ourselves, or when we let something in that is out of integrity, or Maybe we don't let it in and it gets in, and it's letting us know this is an area that needs to be strengthened and fortified and attended to, right? Releasing the past, emerging, transforming energies, transmuted. That goes a lot with what I just said. When we feel a discomfort or a discord within us, bringing our focus into where that is, where things aren't filled with our presence within our internal universe. Where are there empty gaps, not just discordance, but places within us that also need love and need divine union creation within it? And then what are you going to create? Connecting with that green earth mother, the stones of the earth, letting the stones speak to you of their history and their memories, listening with presence and care, finding those places within you that connect to the places in the world outside of us that are a mirror, a reflection of what's going on within us. And then tuning into that and saying, what is it that you need? Oh, there's nothing necessarily wrong here, but there is a gap, a space that is just hollow and empty and available to whatever wants or needs or is going to enter it and muck around in there. So I am going to get in there, put my internal eye on it, bring my love into it so that anything that is in discordance from that love will be either instantly transmuted and or expelled. It'll just disappear because it'll be like, heck no, I don't want to be in this space. I want to be nasty and naughty. I'll go find a different space, right? And when you transmute what's in there, releasing what you don't need or what isn't transmuting, and then utilizing those base codes of what you just transmuted, something gnarly or nasty or absent of consciousness and just impetuous and fire, or something parasitic and taking but not returning, something caught in its own lie and not, or somebody else's and not knowing. All the different things, we don't need to villainize or enemy-ize them. We bring our attention to it, to listen, to learn what it is. We transmute it, always holding space of love and care for self, within self. And then those base codes, as it breaks down and dissolves to be transmuted, say, all right, what are we going to put here? And you say, okay, well, let's just start with love. Love and self-worth, self-value, abundance, like this incredible flora, connection with the earth mother and the masculine cosmic father and the cosmic mother in their divine union, working with the earth, an offspring of their own, and creating from a place of love and compassion, honesty. And then it doesn't matter so much that we know, because if we are working at the top of the crest of a wave, we don't always know what's on the other side of that. We don't always know what's on the shore we're going to be brought to. And we don't need to know, as long as we're in it, in the journey. We are in it in the presence of gratitude. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My highest self, to my me, to everything around me, for being all the things you are to create this cresting moment that I am working with in the best way I know how. And maybe it's not perfect, because it probably isn't, but I know my intentions and I know they are pure and true. I've articulated them. And when and if I find out that I'm out of integrity in those intentions, I acknowledge it and I make it right for those that I've harmed. Whether I know how to or not, I speak aloud and within. I am responsible for the consequences of my choices. I am accountable for my choices and what they cause and the effect. And I love myself, and I'm doing my best. I'm being myself, my best. This is what you are remembering and returning to. It's a practice that is coming through you with every single breath, every single in-breath and out-breath. That is what is infused within that word love when you say, I love myself. I am worthy of love. I am worthy of living my best life, knowing that my best life is a perfect shape to fit with the best and highest good of this world as a whole in the shapes that that would be. And so when you're in your best self, knowing that that fits perfectly with the version of this world that is its best self too, the version of the solar system and cosmos and universe. Even if you are a triangle trying to fit in a world that's like a distorted square, your purity, not force, your purity, and hold integrity and stand in the truth of who you are. I just saw 1616. That, because it's not forcing the distorted square and everything of the world around you, it eventually does start to mold around you and fit the beautiful geometry that is the integrity that you are intending and cultivating, fostering, pulling in information from the God self, pulling in nurture and love and protection from the goddess self. Divine union in it together and letting the shape of that unfurl like a multifaceted, multi-dimensional snowflake with all of its intricacies. And I was thinking today, I saw a vision of a snowflake coming down, and was considering how each one is a unique shape. All these bazillions of snowflakes are unique shapes. And I heard myself, my me self, asking my higher self, my I, saying, well, what gives it these shapes? And my I self said, my highest self said, well, the pressure, of course. Of course, a snowflake, as it's forming and shaping and mutating into its shapes and its delicate, intricate, microscopic details, is so sensitively connected with its environment that it feels the different types of pressures and the nuances of the pressures, and it shapes the semi-frozen water molecule. Isn't that beautiful? That's you working with the pressurized states of the discord of the environment around you, holding true and further fostering the truth and the intent of divine love, highest truth, greatest harmonic co-creation, all the things, all the words, compassion, integrity, respect, honoring, loving acceptance of yourself and whatever is outside of you. And loving acceptance doesn't mean allowance within. It means I see what you are and I love you for where you are, and still I hold true to the intent of my shape, that is a shape that I am co-creating with the divine masculine and the divine feminine and my divine me to I self. That vertical line of sovereignty from the subconscious, the conscious, to the highest conscious, the superconscious. The gazillions of year old future higher self that is constantly changing because time is not linear, and that future self that is you is present with you. Now I can see why I was feeling so much pressure to do a reading. Ooh, we like this card. It says, live the question, curiosity, open your mind, live into it. Look at that. The halls, the tranquiline halls that are shaped by time and elements, consciousness and intention, physicality and seen and non-realities. And she moves with them. And like that torrent of fire hose water moving through another tube, it is opened and shaped and curved to allow her to move through it. But there are things to learn. It's not simply like ease all the time. So she's curious. She asks questions. What is it for me to learn here? In love, with love, for the highest good of all. And she opens herself to it. She quiets her mind. And then living into it, she becomes a vessel of dance, a co-creative dance with the environment around her, always honoring herself. Not herself, a selfish, human, self-serving self, a self that is, again, in divine union with the highest, the divine masculine and the divine feminine, the divine polarities. Knowing that those polarities are so important because they can shape her and the environment, and all she has to do is be the seed of truth in love in the highest. You guys, you are doing this. You are doing this because I'm speaking it, which means that you are a part of it. If you are listening to this, if you are here right now, this message isn't coming from me simply for me. It's coming from me, through me, for you. You are a part of this conversation. Your highest self and my highest self are having a cup of tea together. And they're like, what needs to be said? And they know past, present, future, because they exist in all times. When we trudge along thinking, yeah, we get that, but then we forget, like, oh wait, time isn't linear. That's right. Everything is happening everywhere all at once for the blossoming improvement of the timeline that played out seconds before I just said this, that ended up not working. So there was a backtrack. And our highest selves know this, they're aware of it, they're present to it, so they're able to make adjustments as needed. And the divine design, of course, is already known and set. And while it's set and true, it is still mutable. It is still able to shift. And that's the paradox of divinity, right? It's both set in permanence and specific detail, as well as simultaneously shifting and morphing, as well as, you know, right? You know, you get it. I can feel it. Yes. Is there anything else, Spirit? We're going to do one card real quick here. Just going to pull from the center. Okay. This is from the Mystic Manifesting. Steady effort. As you move forward, you find resources and awards await you. I take one step at a time. Just like that last card I showed you. It's very in concert with that, isn't it? You don't have to worry about what you need to manifest. If you get a clue of something that you want to manifest and you say you're manifesting it and it shows up, really that's more of a precognizance, knowing that is in alignment with what's already coming your way, as long as you're in alignment with those chords, with those harmonics. So with that, my friends, I send you off with love, and I'm so grateful for you being here, sharing this message with me, being a part of this. Dance beautifully, dance from the heart, be your joy, love, spirit, true. I love you so much. Take care.